it's Scott Solkoff, and I'm going to talk to you now about putting together a plan for aging. Now, I'm talking to you from St. Augustine, Florida, where in the 16th century, Ponce de Leon came to find the Fountain of Youth. I'm sitting outside right now, the Fort of Castillo, which was built in the 17th century. Now, how do you get to the Fountain of Youth? Well, it's peace of mind. And to develop peace of mind, it means creating a plan so that you know that your future is taken care of. It'll make you feel better, it'll make your family feel better, and it will actually make a tangible difference in quality of life. So there's three components to this plan that I want you to keep in mind and actually to sit down and talk about with your family and put to paper. There's the legal, the financial, and the caregiving. Right? Now, there are certainly other issues that are important to you, spiritual, family dynamics issues. All of that's really important. But these three core issues, if taken care of in a written plan, will make an actual difference in quality of life. So, legal. Well, why now do you have to worry about the legal if you've already done your will and your trust and your powers of attorney? Well, that's because life is changing. As aging and capacity encroaches, we need different kinds of documents with different considerations. An estate plan is typically created by an estate planning attorney who's focusing on what happens after death. Well, from the perspective of the elder law attorney, we need to be worried about the lifetime needs, your lifetime needs, and then tie that into what happens after death. So it's not that after death or post-mortem planning is unimportant, but it does pale in importance when you think about the need to take care of what's happening now and what's happening during your lifetime, and then take into consideration the estate plan. So legal means taking into consideration the caregiving issues that we know are coming down the pike. Regular powers of attorney, for example, do not suffice. We want powers of attorney that are much more robust and specifically detail all of the things that your agents need to be able to do in order to accomplish your goals. Second, an estate plan, advanced healthcare directives about what you want at end of life with regard to healthcare. I have a whole other video on that you can watch, but there are specific considerations that you may want to consider outside of the normal 1- or 2-page forms. So legal considerations need to be taken into consideration, and the best way to deal with that is to go to an elder law attorney that deals with these issues on a regular basis. That may sound self-serving, but it's true. Second, the financial component. Well, I'm not a financial advisor, but after doing this for 14 years and working with my clients, I've learned a lot from them. And one of the things I can tell you is that most financial plans, most financial advisors, do not have a plan put together for incapacity. They have a plan for retirement, but there's this whole fourth age that's upon us, and that has different considerations, especially with regard to income and the preservation of principal. Well, as care needs increase, dollars increase, and as you need more dollars, you need to be able to get to that money quickly and without pain. So putting together a financial plan that takes into consideration your future likely income needs becomes important. And you know what? There are people who understand the cost of care and who can track this out for you to look at how best to work that into an overall investment plan. That financial plan should also be tied to your legal plan. So this takes some collaboration between your professionals, ideally. Third is the caregiving component. This cannot be understated. Most people ignore it because they don't want to face the issues. But a good caregiving plan means looking at the things that we know are coming down the pike and coming up with a plan on how we're going to deal with it so that we're not first looking at these issues at time of crisis. An example, most people don't just go through a slow decline and then enter a facility. Instead, people are often subject to one big precipitating event, and that sometimes causes a hospitalization. It might be a fall, a broken hip. And then out of the hospital, the discharge planner or social worker says, all right, mom's going to be discharged, or you're going to be discharged tomorrow for rehabilitation in a facility the doctor's prescribed it. Where do you want to go? Well, what do you think most people say to that? They shrug their shoulders. They have no idea of where they're going to go because how would they? Different facilities do different things, have different reputations, there's different waiting lists. It's complicated to be able to pick the right facility and know which one's right for you. So having that decided ahead of time, or having good information ahead of time, can make a tremendous difference in quality of life and ultimate results. The difference among facilities can be night and day, and in terms of quality of life and sometimes even life and death. So having a plan about where we're going to go, if we need help, and how we're going to arrange for admission and finance that becomes critical. And there are so many other issues with regard to a caregiving plan, the majority of which deal with trying to stay at home as long as possible and remain as independent as possible. And that does not happen by accident. You know, it requires careful planning and knowledge so that you can level the playing field in a long-term care system that is dominated by for-profit interests, people that don't necessarily have your interest at heart. So anyway, put together a plan of aging, a plan of care, and don't be shy about discussing these issues with your children. You may think they don't want to talk to you about these matters. They do. And I can tell you that those that don't have the conversation are putting a tremendous burden on their children for not having had it, because then the kids or other loved ones are faced with making decisions that they won't be sure are your own. So do this. It'll give you peace of mind. I know it's scary stuff to think about. It's not fun stuff to think about, but it is tremendously cleansing, rewarding, and gives you great peace of mind to put it to paper and get it done with.